In all of us, there's a hunger, marrow deep, to know our heritage, to know who we are and where we came from. Without this enriching knowledge, there is a hollow yearning. No matter what our attainments in life, there is still a vacuum, an emptiness, and the most disquieting loneliness. This is a quote from Alex Haley of Roots. Well, the family of Alfonso Ruiz really researched their family ties and thus have remembered their patriarch and his contributions to Saginaw. They know who they are. His story begins in San Pedro de las Colonias in Coahuila, Mexico in 1914. As a young man, he migrated to San Antonio, Texas, and then eventually to Saginaw in 1946. He had a loud, robust voice, perfect for speeches, for the 16th de Septiembre. Alfonso married Maria Ramon in 1939, and they raised two daughters, Elena and Lourdes. And it is these two that remember their father most.
We came here to Saginaw in 1946, so he was not one of the original members, but shortly thereafter he became a member, and he just enjoyed doing community work, being part of the Civica, and he served in a lot of different positions. Community was, I believe, a lot closer because there were fewer Hispanic Americans, Mexican Americans here in Saginaw. So we had great times at all the commemorative programs the Civica had, and most everybody knew each other. And for some reason, they had different young ladies become candidates. And that was quite a big thing for the 16th of September, Mexican Independence Day. And so they was always used as a fundraiser for the Civica because they had to keep up a location and utilities. And my sister and I, we would go out and sell tickets or sell raspa. Do you remember what else?
Tamales. We sold tamales.
We sold tamales. So that means my grandmother probably also helped.
Alfonso was really involved in the community. He served as president of the Civica, was also a member of the Labor Council for Latin American Advancement, the Caballeros de Guadalupe at St. Joe's, and the United Auto Workers Local 668. He was one of Saginaw's first Hispanic labor officials. His daughter Lourdes remembers how religious he was and how he was one of the individuals responsible for bringing religious artifacts from Mexico to St. Joseph Catholic Church.
Some of the traditional families that were here, the Gutierrez family, the Guerrero family, the Romero family, our family, they all got together, and these men decided that they were going to do something to bring about more devotion to Our Lady of Guadalupe for the Hispanic community.
Alfonso Ruiz was involved in what would go down as probably the biggest day in Unión Cívica history. He was instrumental in bringing presidential candidate Jimmy Carter to the Civica Hall in 1976.
And then the president spoke from the podium in front of the Unión Cívica, and a lot of the community leadership was here, but with the understanding that he was greeting everybody on Mexican Independence Day because it happened right on the 16th of September. And so he spoke to the nation on Hispanic issues. And that was, I think, a highlight for my dad and for the Civica.
And I just remember being so proud of my grandpa. He gave, at the time, candidate Carter, but he presented him with a sombrero. And I thought, I remember thinking, he's not going to want that. But I remember he wanted it. He appreciated receiving it. And I remember having the Viva Carter peanut sweatshirts. I wish I still had mine. So there's got to be one somewhere.
I remember the political part, but more that I've been affected by has been Our Lady of Guadalupe and the Civica. our culture. He had such a booming voice. He was a wonderful speaker, orator, public speaker, but he would talk to us just like he was talking to 100 people.
I know that if my grandfather had this microphone right now, he would take the opportunity to say, today is November 3rd. In 3 days, there is an election. You must go vote. So there. Because he would not have passed up an opportunity to get out the vote. So I just did it for you, Prieto.
So it bears out the fact that even though he did not have much of a formal education, that he did a lot of things for the good of the community. So we want to say thank you for recognizing our dad.
And so on this night, when we recognize his lifetime of work, we say thank you, Alfonso Ruiz, as we induct you into the Saginaw Hispanic Hall of Fame. Felicidades.
A little younger.